This video tutorial is brought to you by JimmyR.com, the best of the internet. I'll be showing you the power of Windows batch files. Windows batch files basically automate tasks so you can do several things just by double-clicking one file. And don't get discouraged if I say Windows, because Mac has the same functionality except it's called AppleScript, and Linux has the same thing except it's called shell or bash scripting. So if you have another operating system, don't worry, but let me show you what it does first so you can get an idea of how it's useful. This batch file opens VirtualDub, Calculator, and CCleaner just by double-clicking this one file. See, it opened CCleaner, it opened VirtualDub, which I edit my movies with, and it opened Windows Calculator. So you can open as many programs as you want at the double-click, just by double-clicking this file. And the code is really simple. If I peek inside the bat file, all it says is start Windows Calculator, start CCleaner, and start VirtualDub. So the code is really simple, and it's just a text file. I don't have to compile anything. The next way I can use it is for programming. I'm going to double-click php.bat, and it's going to open my compiler. It's going to be in the PHP directory, and it's going to give me a temporary PHP file automatically. And I can just edit this file. I can say echo hello world, YouTube, hello YouTube. And I just click Control S to save, and I'm going to say php temp.php, and it's going to echo hello world YouTube. So you can do this for any compiler. You can use GCC or anything, but it'll put you where you need to be, and it'll open maybe a temporary files with helpful commands at the bottom or something. So you can make it do whatever you want pretty much. Here's another example. This one opens Final Fantasy VII with EPSXE, a PlayStation emulator. See, it opened EPSXE, and it even has the little PECEdit cheater, so I can use GameShark codes. I'm not going to wait for it to load because it kind of takes a while. This is another one. This mounts virtual CDs on my drive. I'm just going to double click it, and if you can see here, it's mounting the virtual CDs. There was no CDs here before, and it mounted them. So instead of going to Daemon Tools and right-clicking Mount Image or Alcohol and actually having to find the ISO, mount it, find the ISO, mount it, you can mount all the CDs at once using command line tools. Here's one last example before I get to explaining the basics. Here's Firefox. I double-click Firefox, and it's going to open MySpace, it's going to open Google, and it's going to open JimmyR.com. So you can even set what pages you want Firefox to start with. I'm going to close it again and open it again so you see that it wasn't there already. So it's really, really simple. Let me give you a peek inside this Firefox thing. All it says is start Firefox.execute here. And I give it the command line property www.myspace.com, and then google.com, and then jimmyr.com. And I could go on with the list, www.dig.com or something like that. But I can basically open multiple sites. This is useful if, let's say, the first thing you do when you get on the internet is check your MySpace, check your email, and you could say Gmail or something, and then check your YouTube comments. So again, this is really, really useful stuff, and it's actually really simple to make. Windows batch files are pretty much DOS. So if I go to Start, Run, and I enter a DOS command, I can pretty much put it in my batch file. SNDREC32 opens up Sound Recorder. So if I type this in the run prompt and click OK, it's going to open Windows Sound Recorder. Let's try to make a batch file that opens Windows Sound Recorder. Just going to make a new text file. I'm just going to rename it snd.bat, and then I'm going to edit it. You probably have a notepad pop up, but it's the same thing. And I'm going to type sndrec32.execute, just like I did in the command and the run prompt. And I'm going to save it. by clicking Control S or File Save. And now I'm going to run the command. And it opened Windows Sound Recorder, but it opened a DOS thing behind it. And if I open Sound Recorder, it's going to actually close the DOS thing. To avoid that from happening, you can actually say start. You can type start so it opens as a separate process, and then the name of the file. So now I'm just going to save this and open this again. And as you can see, the DOS prompt appears for like half a second and disappears and just opens this program. So it's actually very, very simple to make. Here's another example. Okay, let's say after I open Windows Sound Recorder, I want to open another program called Audacity. Audacity is in Program Files / Audacity. I can't just say audacity.execute start audacity.execute because it doesn't work. I have to point to Program Files first. I can actually open Audacity just by saying cd, basically go to directory, Program Files, Audacity, and then start audacity.execute. I can save it, open snd.bat, and it's going to open Sound Recorder, and it's also going to open Audacity. So you can open as many programs as you want. All you have to do is point to the directory they're in, and then start the executable. I'm going to make it open Firefox. If I go to Program Files, Mozilla Firefox, there we go. And here I have Firefox.execute. Basically I'm going to make a new line and say go to directory of Firefox, where the Firefox executable is. And I want you to start Firefox.execute. And I click save, and I run snd.bat again, and it's going to open Audacity, it's going to open Firefox, and it's going to open Windows Sound Recorder. However, you can do multiple things. Some programs have command line options. Let me open Firefox again. Okay, here's Firefox. I can actually search Firefox command line switches. That's what they're called, command line arguments or command line switches. And you can get a list of command line options for Firefox that you can input. So I can change the profile, change the user, open different files, all by using the command line, or even resize Firefox. And that's not the only program that has command lines. You could also use command line switches for your favorite audio programs like Winamp or VLC Player, so you can open a playlist, or you can open your favorite internet radio stream just by double-clicking the file. Let me go back to Firefox and show you an example of using just a command line parameter. For example, the command line parameter new tab in Firefox. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to delete all this other crap because I don't really want these files to open. It's just going to open Firefox. And to recap, cd means go to the directory Program Files / Mozilla Firefox, and start just makes the command line not show up, so it's not open after it opens Firefox. And now I'm going to add the command line option, new tab, in Firefox. So I'm just going to paste it, new tab, and I'm going to type a URL. You can make video requests, video tutorial requests at youtube.jimmyr.com, so I'm going to post that. And I'm going to save, and I'm going to open the batch file, and there it is, youtube.jimmyr.com, the video request form. And that's all you have to do to add command line options. You just add whatever command line options they list and the correct parameter, and there you go. But again, it works for multiple programs. If you go to youtube.com, I actually used it in one of my videos, the Berkeley things. Search JimmyR.com Berkeley, and I had that thing about getting free university courses online. I used batch files to organize the 155 courses in Berkeley. For example, I'm using Real Alternative instead of Real Player, so I download this. I extract it on my desktop. It's going to give me JimmyR.com. And I have choose.bat, which is the bat file I was talking about, so people can choose the courses a lot easier. And you can edit it to see what's inside. But a lot of you guys have been asking me where can I get basic computer programming courses. And Berkeley has several of them. If you just click choose.bat and 2 for computer courses, it has the structure and interpretation of computer programs, which is basically Introduction to Computer Programming. So I'm just going to select a random one, and I'm going to say 14, random course number. It's going to open the playlist, and here I have all the lectures in this Berkeley course. I can resize to whatever, and you can actually watch the course from Berkeley. So use those instead. I think they're very, very descriptive, and they're very good courses, and they're probably a lot better than I could do just posting video tutorials about programming in YouTube. Anyways, thanks for listening to this basic introduction to batch files.